Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of MovieFellas, a podcast where some millennials with little to no knowledge talk about films, both classic and current. I am your host, Matt Rosenberg, and with me this week is Adam Norris. How you doing, Adam?
I am alive and breathing. How are you, fellow human?
Man,
Beep boop.
that's just.
That's such an astute
I am not.
observation.
I am not a robot. I am always happy to be here. Beep boop.
Do you want some human food? I mean, regular food?
No, haha. I only eat computer chips. I mean tortilla chips. Ha 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 ha.
I feel like this is a conversation you guys would have had in college.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, it would.
It probably was an actual conversation.
was.
And
That's what it's
Haste the David Dool is with us as well, of course. Haste, how you
hey.
doing?
I'm better than Hollywood still, man.
That's oh God.
Still going strong.
It just keeps getting more. One of the podcasts I listen to has a segment, like they started a segment occasionally where it's like, who's going into the bin this week? And they just
Mario
someone who's been
Batali,
like,
a famous television chef,
Mm-hmm.
oh really?
wrote an apology letter for some sexual misconduct from who knows
Oh,
when,
God.
and then proceeded to leave a cinnamon roll recipe at the very end of it.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
he's still marketing himself while
Have you-
apologizing for sexual misconduct.
Okay, so I know Adam has, but have you? Okay, Haste, have you seen the episode of Parks and Rec where the senator, what's his face,
I've seen
keeps
the entire
getting in the
series, my man.
Yeah, the what's his name
Yeah.
keeps getting in the scandals, and then he has a scandal on the way to apologize for the
Yeah,
scandal that he
yeah.
had.
Oh,
I
such
feel
a
like that
classic.
is our current like political and like
Oh, yeah,
climate
without a
right
doubt.
now.
Yeah,
Oh,
most
gosh.
definitely. It's great.
What's
love
his,
it.
Adam? Do you remember that guy's name?
Oh, it was like some classic politics.
Councilman Dexhart. Councilman
Yeah,
Dexhart.
Dexhart.
Yeah.
There we go. He's like, on the way to the hospital, I had sex with 3 nuns.
It was
You're just
so
like,
bad.
wait, what? What?
Anyway, okay, guys, it is the Christmas season. It's December. We're recording this on December 18th.
We're actually doing this early for
I know,
first
right? It's
time
not
in
the
ages.
last day of the
Day of
month.
Yeah, which we did the past couple months. So
Yeah. So 'cause
Go
we
us.
wanted to get. We'll get into our main topic later, but
we're ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we wanted to do some Christmas stuff. So you guys having a good
LOL.
Christmas season? Before we started recording, both Adam and Haste mentioned they weren't really into the Christmas season this year. Why is that? Is it because you hate Christmas and you hate joy and you just hate overall happiness and you want to watch the world burn because that's the kind of movies you
My
like?
sensors indicate sarcasm.
Okay,
no.
but in all seriousness, Adam first. I insist.
Oh, sure. Oh, of course.
It was Hanukkah last week.
I would say,
We're not
I mean,
Jewish.
for me, and I mean, Kayla and I both, most of our Christmas experience is more family based. And so because we live 5-6 hours away from family,
True.
most of our Christmas
Oh,
experience
okay.
is spent traveling, going to other houses. So this year we haven't even bothered to decorate. Like, it's 6 days till Christmas Eve, and it's like,
Yeah.
not really feeling it. So in terms of, and the people we hang out with, they're not really as Christmas-y. So I'd say so far, the only thing I've done that's even in the spirit of it is what I had to do at the Boys and Girls Club, because
Right.
it's the holidays and I have to, do stuff that's like
Yeah.
that. But it's not that I
Holiday-y.
don't, it's not that I don't, it's not that this year's like a bad year or anything. It's just not as traditional, I guess. That's how I should
Right,
No, that makes
right. You're
sense.
not with the family. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I haven't decorated at all either because it feels kind of like my fiance. For those of you who don't know, my fiance lives 4.5 hours away from me, so it's like, I don't really feel like decorating. I did got one of those things at Walmart, the light displays that does like the twirly twirl thing, and it's on a timer, so it comes on when it gets dark outside. It's really cool. It was a lot easier than.
Is
setting
it one
up
of those
Christmas
things that you
lights,
put
too.
in that covers your house in LEDs?
Yeah, it's really cool, dude.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Hey, listen, all right, it was $20 and it was easier than setting up a bunch of
20
Christmas
bucks and a
lights
pack of
and dying.
Mentos. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, we'll get to in the
Oh,
news.
here we-
But
yeah, that's right. Let's get into the news. Merry Christmas to everyone who's listening, and Happy New Year and Happy Holiday, whatever you celebrate. Probably Christmas, considering I don't think any. Who knows? Anyway, let's get into the news. Last Jedi. Okay, Star Wars: The Last Jedi came out on December 15th, and guys, critics love it. All right, it's rocking like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the fans are very, very mixed on this movie.
oh yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
55%. I checked earlier today.
Yeah, for which I'd say it probably airs more towards it being more positive because people who seek out to go do a review on Rotten Tomatoes who aren't critics are probably like, well, I got something to say about this, you know.
It's like I'm very angry.
Yeah, exactly. So, Haste and I both saw it, and we can talk about it more on What You Watching, mate. But it's been mixed. I'll just give my upfront. I think it's a good film. I need to see it again. It might be a great film. I just have to kind of push past all the expectations I kind of had and kind of move forward. But Adam, have you seen it?
Nope. I'm having to wait until this Saturday to see it because every year my family has gone in the last few years has gone to a Christmas Star Wars release.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that tradition that's started.
So as
it's
much
being
as I
ruined.
love family tradition, I am having to put off watching a movie I've been waiting for 6.5 months for another 5 more
Yeah.
days.
Ugh. Okay, we'll keep it spoiler free during What You
Yes.
Watching, mate. Then.
Thank you.
Yes, it's good though. It's
Dude,
good.
I bet
go
that
in-
part where Jar shot Snoke like straight in the face for the
yeah,
climax.
that's what actually.
No,
and
Jar Jar
then-
has a replacement in its movie. It's
and then
called Pores.
It's
They're called
actually
pores.
his left ear is actually Ray's mother,
I
and then
knew it.
his right ear is actually Ray's grandmother. It's a whole big thing. It's
In
just-
one ear and out the
conspiracy.
other. That's what the family always says.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. Yeah. So anyway, 22
came out.
million is the 22 million is the domestic box office. So it's the second biggest opening in
440, I think,
in-
was worldwide.
ever in the United States.
I think I read
next to
somewhere.
The Force Awakens. Huh? You read somewhere? Haste? Hello? Hello?
I'm here.
Hey,
Okay.
what happened?
I don't know. That was weird. I lost you guys for a second.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm always
Okay.
here.
We'll cut that out.
We're here. We're here,
That
guys.
was
We
awkward.
won't. We're leaving it in.
Oh gosh.
People had to deal with that
Please
awkward
no.
silence.
Good.
No, I'll see if I can cut it out. So yeah, the 220 million domestic box office. I might have said 22 million. That was wrong. 220 million domestic box office, which is the second biggest opening next to The Force Awakens. 450 million worldwide opening weekend. That's good, obviously. Yeah, Haste, real quick, just up front, what'd you think of it? Just good, bad, ugly?
Okay, we've done this before. We're bringing it back. We're doing quick movie reviews with Haste.
Oh gosh, no! These things last like 20 minutes.
No,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
no. I meant
I
the
got my
really
popcorn.
short.
Oh
snippet
yeah,
one I've
these
done
are my
before.
favorite. No, keep going,
Yeah.
go.
Do you want it or do you not?
Yes, of course.
I always
Okay,
want it.
so
Don't give away the plot though.
this is how Star Wars goes. This is it. This is The Last Jedi. This is
All right.
everything you need to know. This movie does everything while doing nothing at the same time. There you go.
Illuminati confirmed.
420 blaze it.
Oh gosh. Oh my god.
I speak the
Yeah,
truth,
that's
though.
honestly that's really that's a great description. Like as odd as it sounds, that is a great description.
It is
Um,
spot on. It is
yeah.
lit, as the kids are saying these days.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sex
have
checks.
that put on my epitaph when I finally die.
What? It does everything without doing anything? Or-
Adam, and it just says
Lit.
Adam, 1994 to 2057.
2015.
You're giving yourself
Good year.
another 40 years?
Yeah, we'll see.
I would hope he's 24.
We'll see.
23.
We'll see.
I like
Okay.
positivity.
So, yeah, we'll talk about it maybe a little bit more. We might not. Actually, let's probably not.
Yes,
We can do a
we don't
side
wanna spoil
episode with me
anything
and
for
you if we
Adam.
want.
that's
Yeah.
fine by me.
Yeah,
Like
we
we
might
did
do that
with,
next week
that's
because
cool.
I'll be down in Florida this week. Okay, so Disney acquired Fox. This is everywhere. It acquired
About
everything but a
freaking
few.
time.
Yeah, but a few news things. But they bought it Fox in a deal that was $52 billion. Pocket change.
At least
you know.
for Disney.
Seriously, like I can't even comprehend that much money, dude. I remember in my 6th grade math class, my teacher was like, if you spent $30,000 every day of your life from the time you were born and you lived till the time you were 75, every single day of your life, you would not reach close to $1 billion. It's just
That's a
it's-
sad realization.
yeah, it's crazy.
And yet
but-
you've got companies out there throwing it around like it's like
well, it's just, I mean,
air.
you're working with big stuff. But so that means that Disney has acquired with Disney, which owns Marvel, for those you don't know, and that is where the Marvel Cinematic Universe exists. This includes Deadpool, X-Men, and Fantastic Four, which have long been with Fox, and they have long made crappy movies sometimes, but some good X-Men movies, but all bad at Fantastic
Hey.
Four movies. You know what else this can... Go ahead.
I just
Adam.
don't. I don't want my Days of Future Boys being made fun of. I love that. I love that miniseries, and I wish they somehow could keep it going.
Wait, what miniseries?
Like I'm saying, the newer one where they've did Days of Future Past, First Class.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah,
like
those
this
are...
little run they've done has been pretty solid, excluding Apocalypse. But that's
Apocalypse wasn't good, but like
was
Days of
alright.
Future Past and First Class were both really good.
so good.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Dark Phoenix, which is the new X-Men movie in the main continuity, is already filming. So is Deadpool 2. So I'm guessing
Isn't
they're going to
Deadpool pretty
kind
much
of
done.
Yeah.
I think so. But I'm guessing they're
It
going
comes
to
out
kind of...
Valentine's Day again this year, if I remember
Does it come out
correctly.
2018 or 2019?
It's 2018, dude. I think they're shooting for another Valentine's Day release like they did with the previous.
Oh yeah, June 1st, 2018.
Oh, it's June. I thought it was
Yeah.
Or February. Never mind. Okay.
No. Well, it's still 2018.
Yeah. Which means it's probably in post-production.
Oh,
now,
it got
and
an
they're just
official name, Deadpool: The
editing it.
Second Coming.
Oh,
That's funny.
gosh.
That's kind of sacrilegious.
Oh, I get it. That's good.
But anyway, so we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen because freaking Fox has a ton of stuff on slate, like the New Mutants,
goodness.
the X-Men movies. Nothing with Fantastic Four because they mess that up every time. But do you know what this also? So we'll see. People have been excited. Disney's gonna take over the world in the next 50 years anyway. But at least we'll have these movies to look forward to under the tyrannical
we'll be
reign
under
of
our
Disney.
evil overlords of Mickey Mouse, but we'll
Yeah.
have some
We'll have
baller movies.
some good movies.
I know, right?
What if? Hear me out.
Oh,
And,
hold on a second.
Oh,
This
ahead.
means they own the Alien franchise now.
they own the Alien franchise. Yep.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what else? They also own. It
Probably
starts with an
something
A, and
stupid
it's
that I don't care about.
it's also a sci-fi movie. Starts with an A.
That's probably awful.
It's not awful. It's called Avatar. Now Disney
Yep,
owns
that's absolutely
Avatar,
awful.
the highest-grossing film of all time, and
Not
honestly,
adjusted
I'm
for
really looking
inflation.
forward to see how this transition works out. Avatar's great. Shut up. So anyway, that's a huge acquire, and I think that we might be seeing some good movies. I hope
They're gonna start churning out. They're gonna make so much money. It's not even funny.
Dude, it's that's why I'm saying Disney's gonna take over the world, dude.
What movie was it where they joke about it? Where they're like he makes more money than Jesus. At this point, Disney pretty much does.
Are you talking about when one of the guys from the Beatles said we're more famous than Jesus?
No,
Oh.
there was a movie where someone mentioned something about having or making more money than Jesus,
Well,
or having more money than God, or something like that. One of the two.
I don't know. Probably
I don't know
Pitch
either.
Perfect.
Oh man, the third movie comes out soon. Hope you're super
That's
stoked
right.
for that.
Sure. Yeah, I've only seen the first one. I liked it.
Oh.
The second one's awful.
Adam, did you see the trailer for Alita: Battle Angel?
I've heard of it and I have not seen it.
I didn't like the trailer.
It
It's
was
not my
really
thing.
uncomfortable, wasn't it?
See,
was
listen,
uncomfortable the
the
entire
way
time.
you said Alita, all I could think of was Ilita, and I was hoping for somehow, in no possible way ever this would happen, but a Code Lyoko reboot. But that's
Oh, Alita, dude,
What-
Alita.
Oh,
one can
please.
Oh,
one
yeah,
can
dude.
only dream.
We hope, dude,
As an eighth
man,
eighth
freaking
grade
Code
boy.
Lyoko.
the freshest of television
Dude,
shows.
I
Oh.
loved Code
Let's face it.
Lyoko.
Let's face it, kids. We all had a crush on all the girls on that
Dude,
show.
I did.
Don't you
even
lie to
with
me.
their enormous foreheads and their
Wow, that's
anatomically
a little bit
unproportioned
racist, but I'm gonna
bodies.
let that go.
Let's face it. Were you more interested in their digital forms or their cartoon forms? Because if you say cartoon, you're a liar.
I honestly don't remember. Dude, Code
You know
Lyoko
they
was great.
were thick with a 2 C's instead of a K in the digital world. So
Oh my god.
there you guys go. Now you have that burned into your heads. You're welcome.
Uh.
I'm here till the end of the podcast.
Great, that's thanks. Can we kick you off? Is there a way to boot someone on this program that we use?
Ow. Rude.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page and there isn't anything. Let's see. There isn't anything on a Code Lyoko reboot, but there should be. Can we
Rip
get
the
a
dream.
Kickstarter going for that or something?
Can we be the ones to bring it about? Let's
Yeah.
have MovieFellas go big or go home and just bring
I'd
back
rather
Code
go
Lyoko.
home, to be honest.
I would rather go home.
Oh, that's a sad statement, my friend. All right, continuing
so
on.
Alito Battle Angel, it's being directed by Robert Rodriguez, who did Spy Kids and also other
Oh, it's
stuff.
gonna be awful.
Yeah, no, it's not. Shut up.
Spy Kids was terrible, all of them.
No,
Hey,
are
you
kidding?
watch
The
your
first two are-
mouth. Nothing
the
can beat
first
the
Spy
first
Kids
Spy
is
Kids,
great.
dude. It's so good.
It's
The first one is
amazing.
amazing.
So terrible.
No,
You're high, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. Whatever.
Uncle Rico's
Cookies aren't
in
the
it.
only cookies aren't the only thing
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
baking
it's,
over your boys.
it's Machete.
Machete is
Machete's in
their
it. And then-
uncle.
And then in the spin-off is rated R and
That's right.
Weird.
Dude,
Oh gosh.
Haste, you best not be sleeping on friggin' Spy Kids. That first movie is so good. Remember
so
that part
good.
where
Did
they
not
spent
care
like
for any of them.
remember that part where they spent $28 on CGI to go underwater for 15 seconds?
The CGI in those movies is so bad.
It's like they're
But
like
that's- it's
floating
the
in
world,
Because the
though.
movies as a whole are bad.
It's
No.
it's
No.
a cartoony weird.
I feel like I'm
world.
triggering you guys really bad
Yes,
with this.
You are. You are. I'm so mad right now.
I'm
But
sorry, guys.
okay, so Alita Battle Angel. We'll get back to it.
No, we won't.
the
Next,
trailer
you're gonna
came
say
out for
Shark
it.
Boy and Lava Girl isn't even that good.
I never saw Shark Boy and Lava
Yeah,
Girl,
that's right,
so-
because you didn't, Haste. You don't know art.
Dude, I freaking hated Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh.
I did not dig it.
Well, 2017, the year of stabbing in the back. All right.
Shark
I know
Boy and
your
Lava
true
Girl is not a
colors
good
now.
movie. Okay. All right, so Alita Battle Angel, it's based off a manga or a manga or a manga, whatever.
Manga.
Whatever.
Don't you start this with me.
Anyway, it's produced by James Cameron. Originally, James Cameron was going to direct it, but it has been
He's
delayed.
too busy working on Avatar 17.
Avatar sequels for the. So Rosa,
Maybe now
here's the thing:
that
Rosa Salazar is starring in it, and she is Alita, but it's all done through CGI. Even though Alita is mostly a human-looking character.
yeah, it's kind of gross.
Except with big eyes. It's just a very strange. It's a strange look. I mean, the robot effects look good. It's an interesting story. I think it's got kind of like hints of what's that? This one that came out with Scarlett Johansson recently, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, Ghost in
Yeah,
the
it's
Shell.
kind of got hints of that. It was just a strange trailer. I hope it's good. I might go see it. Adam, I know
We'll
you've
see.
been dying to see Alita Battle Angel since you were a kid because you grew up with the Alita Battle Angel action figures that you got, then you begged your mom to buy at Walmart when you were a child. So what do you think of this?
I can't even overstate enough how I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
That's what we bring Norris around for, just the sheer unadulterated.
What are you talking about?
straightness.
I'm like, I heard you say that, and I was like, is this a new fidget spinner? Like, what is this?
I love it. Yeah,
it's not as bad as the fidget spinners.
Robert Rodriguez has some good stuff. Has done some really good stuff. So it could be really interesting. What's his name's
Could
in it?
be.
Christoph Waltz, or yeah. So it's actually a James Bond spinoff, or no, it's actually an Inglourious Bastard spinoff. In the alternative
intrigued.
future where Hitler was killed by being gunned down by a machine gun, this is what happens. Is
Makes the most sense.
Alita Battle Angel. That was a funny joke. Okay, I thought of
don't
that
get it.
off the cuff.
I'm trying. I'm really
I don't
trying to
get it.
understand what this movie is even about.
It's like a girl who's a robot. It's in the future, and then she gets repurposed to be like this superhero.
A girl.
Yeah.
I think she's originally like some sort of super battle creature, but then she gets stupid and forgets her memory, and then she gets reprogrammed.
But she remembers
to
her
be,
robot kung
Yeah.
fu. Yeah, but she
Yeah.
remembers her. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, probably not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Weird.
I think it could be good. It looks strange. The
Red
CGI
box
might
it.
not be done too. Yeah.
Red
there
box
you go.
it.
There you go. All right, you guys want to get into the main topic?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, mate.
Let's do it. Okay, guys, this week we were like, what do we want to do? Except we didn't even discuss it. We were like, yeah, Christmas movies. Yeah, duh. So let's, we're going to talk about some of our favorite Christmas movies, what we like about them, and just why we like them, why they make us feel all warm and hot chocolatey inside. So, Hayes, go ahead and start us off. What is
gross.
one of your favorites? We'll just do a few and we'll see how long it goes, and we'll just call it by ear. So, hey, start us off. Give us a Christmas
Okay,
movie.
I don't really have a lot that I like love per se, so I'm just
Mhm.
gonna have a couple honorable mentions and then my actual favorite. First, I'm gonna throw out some serious shade that I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for, but I don't care. I'm
Is
channeling my
it
inner
Christmas
Norris with
with
this
the
one.
Cranks?
Uh-oh.
I don't
Because
remember
that
that
movie
one.
sucks.
I'm ready.
No, I'm not a big fan of Christmas Vacation.
You're
And
you
not a
think
big
I
fan of
am?
Christmas Vacation?
No, I just meant I'm channeling my inner you and how I'm gonna act towards this movie.
Oh, you're channeling. I thought you said
Yeah.
chain mailing, and I was like, I'm
No.
very confused, and I'm a little scared.
Yeah, it's Alita Battle Angel.
I thought I heard
2.0
some
incoming.
clinking of metal in the background. I thought you were about to attack me from behind.
No, okay.
my
So,
mic stand.
everyone in my family absolutely loves Christmas Vacation.
Uh-huh.
I personally hate it. I don't like the humor. It's not my thing.
It's
I don't
Chevy
think I've seen it
Chase.
all the way through before.
He's an acquired taste of a comedian.
Yeah, I don't know. Any of the Christmas Vacation movies after seeing, or any of the vacation movies after seeing Christmas Vacation are just awful to me.
Okay, so where are you going with this? Because you're supposed to tell us one that you like.
Well, no, I was prefacing my list with something in the Christmas genre that I absolutely hate.
Okay.
Because that's
Let the hate
how
flow through you.
I'm letting the hate flow through me in
Good.
honor of Star Wars coming out last week.
Do it.
Jeez. Okay, so one of my favorites is actually Arthur Christmas. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
ever seen it.
yeah.
You saw it. It's a great movie.
It is a good movie.
It's one of those movies that it takes a normal like, oh, you think you know the story of Christmas, but you don't, and it actually makes it decent. Like most movies that try to do
Okay.
that, like overdo it, and it just looks bad. For instance,
Yeah.
the Santa Claus. The
Hey,
later
the
ones,
Santa-
later
oh,
ones,
okay. I was
later
gonna
ones.
say, the Santa Claus are good.
And it's a fun movie. The humor's entertaining. It's not overdone like in The Last Jedi, and it's great.
I've never
Really,
seen
no,
it.
no comment for you about me just poking endless fun at The Last Jedi right now.
Hey, Ray's parents are actually Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
he
rip
produces
space squid.
He reproduces by himself.
He cuts off a tentacle and it turns into
Yeah,
a
and then it
living
turns
human
into Ray.
being.
That's how it
Oh, no.
happens. Yep. So Arthur
Okay.
Christmas, what do you like about it? Animation, the voice
Oh,
cast.
the animation! Back when it came out, it was like top of the line animation.
Okay.
I
I've
forget
never
the
seen
company. I forget the company that actually like
Aardman
produced it.
Animations and Sony Pictures Animation.
So that was Sony back before they started doing all the Minions stuff. Because
Now it's just Minions toys.
doesn't Sony own Illumination?
I'm
Yes.
almost positive.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'm pretty
99% sure they do. But yeah, the animation at the time was absolutely great. The humor's one of those movies where the adults are actually going to enjoy the humor while the kids are just there for the flashy colors.
Right. Okay.
And it's a good movie. It's a good feel good movie, which I guess I could use this time of year, at least in
Okay.
lieu of the holiday.
Cool.
Another one for me that's one of my favorites, and it's always a callback just because of there's one particular scene that is Christmas related. But you boys know me, I love me some Mean Girls, so of course it's going to be on the list. Of course it's going to be on the list.
It's like 7 degrees of Mean Girls with Haste movie life.
Really?
At some point, he's just like, hey, you know what? I just watched this movie about a person starving themselves. It kind of reminds me of that one scene in Mean Girls where they're in the cafeteria. And I'm like, how is he
No, it
doing
reminds me
this?
of the scene where she's stuffing herself with those bars that are. She's misled to believe that she's going to lose weight. But yeah, okay.
Is Mean
Oh my
Girls
God.
Haste's Avatar? It might be.
No, not at all. But yeah, of course it's just got that
Just
one
that
scene.
one scene, yeah.
Yeah, just that one scene,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
all you need in life. Honestly, my absolute favorite Christmas movie is probably Elf.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
because it's one I enjoy, it's one I never get tired of, and it's just a lot of people hate it because it's Will Ferrell. There's obviously
I love it.
There's a
Absolutely
distinct
love it.
line between people that like and dislike Will Ferrell, and my mom was on
Right.
that list, and she's never seen Elf because of it. So it's
But
a
that's a
sad day.
Favreau. That's a Favreau movie. Speaking
I just
of,
meant the fact that Will Ferrell's in it.
yeah, but you can tell the comedy is very. It's. I think it's very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a good story to it. You know,
Yeah.
I really enjoy a story.
And it's yes, it's Will Ferrell. obviously Will Ferrell acting a lot younger than he is, and very naive and childish, and it's just good
He's a
without being.
he's a funny character, but it's a lot
Yeah.
different than a lot of other comedies that he does.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's, well, comparing it to everything else Will Ferrell does, it's the cleanest thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, hey, actually,
Yeah.
real quick before we move on, I think, Haste, if you appreciate his acting in Elf, of all the movies I would suggest if you haven't seen, you should watch, is Everything Must Go.
I can't say I've heard of it.
It is a
I'll have to
very,
check it
very
out.
good movie, and it's a very dark premise for a Will Ferrell film. He plays like a,
Googling it right now.
I'm trying to remember, like, not like an insurance adjuster, but just a businessman. He's let go from his job, and when he comes home, his wife leaves him and says, "You can just live on the front lawn if you want."
Goodness.
And so he ends up
horrifying.
just like starting a yard sale to sell everything of his to make money back, and he ends up living on his front lawn and like meets random people
Interesting.
and just like it's a very just like
That
slice
sounds
of
awesome.
life. It's a very
it does
good,
sound
and
like a
like
good movie.
and it is funny, but it definitely has its much darker moments of him kind of confronting
Oh yeah.
his broken
Right.
marriage, his loneliness, and so in a lot of ways it's probably, I'd say, his more of artsy fartsy kind of film, but I like it a lot.
And, well, another shout out to Will Ferrell artsy fartsy movie, Stranger Than
Stranger Than
Fiction.
Oh, of
Fiction. Yeah, I was gonna
course.
say I
Oh.
love Stranger
Oh,
Than Fiction.
classic.
It's so
What a
good.
good movie.
Great movie.
That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
Yeah. Okay.
I think one of my favorite things about Elf, in the grand scheme of things, is it's again, it's another one of the movies that's aimed towards kids, but the adults are gonna enjoy a lot more of like the actual, other than the like stupid, really dumb insults they give each other between individuals. It's something where the adults are gonna get something out of the movie as a whole as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
of course, it's just
Yeah.
a funny movie.
It's I like when a movie can give you a lesson without. It's more. It's definitely more. Not necessarily kids, because there are some kind of adult-ish humor.
There's a lot of it.
But I think it was definitely marketed towards children,
Mhm.
and because it was rated PG, I think.
Yeah, it was.
So, but I like when a movie can get like that, can give like a good lesson in like that's without it being so heavy-handed.
Hmm.
Like don't do this. Like it's just like don't focus so much on your job because your family's really important. Yeah, that's a good thing.
And it was my first exposure to gosh, what's his name? Oh, Game of Thrones.
I don't know. Who from-
Dang it. Okay, it's gonna bug me now if I don't look it up.
There's no way to look it up.
Yeah, there is.
It's impossible. Elf film. Can I do it first? And Adam's not even trying.
No, Peter
Um,
Dinklage. There we go.
Oh, Peter Dinklage. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first
Yeah.
exposure to Peter Dinklage
Yeah,
way
that
back
was.
when.
Oh man.
Pinker
That's,
Dinklage. Sorry.
Dinklage.
Sorry, I just
Um,
like switching consonants around.
One thing here's another thing that I really liked about that movie.
Mhm.
You don't really see a lot of PG movies go for the romance side of things, and that one was pretty heavy-handed between him and man, I'm really bad with actors and
Zoe
actresses
Deschanel.
tonight. Yeah, Zoe Deschanel. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
That is true.
that was and they did it without taking it over the top, which they probably could have.
Yeah,
pushed
she
it
was
to the very
she was
line of
really
PG.
good in that. I remember seeing her, and she had a very like now she plays like this kind of ditzy, like quirky indie chick.
Yeah, and then in that movie, she's pretty like
she's
stern and
kind of wry and like kind of like I don't know, like she's very kind of like she's like Adam Norris towards life.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
true.
And that
If anyone ever asks me in an interview, what's your greatest weakness? I say, man, I'm just too much like Zoe Deschanel.
Deschanel in Elf.
in Elf.
And strangely enough,
Nothing
every
else.
time I do that, they tell me to leave. And they ask me that I'm no longer considered for the position.
Is it
Oh,
because
jeez,
you're a
that's
robot?
sad.
I mean human.
Yeah. I learned
I
that
love
from
it.
my master beep boop.
Jeez.
Oh man.
boy.
Okay. All right,
Oh,
Norris.
I'm
That
trying to
being
think
said,
it
all
is.
right. So
Jeez.
Elf, Arthur Christmas. Did you say another one? Oh yeah, Mean Girls doesn't count.
Hey man, hey, it counts as a scene. If Die Hard
There's a
counts, if Die Hard counts as a Christmas movie, then so does Mean Girls.
I'm not going to argue tonight. All right.
Yeah, whatever.
Because you know I'm right.
Okay, Norris. What's some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Let's see. Similar to Haste, got a couple honorable mentions. My family doesn't have much in the way of traditions for Christmas. We don't like do a lot of trees and lights and all that. But we are a big movie family. So for us, every Christmas Eve, we watch The Polar Express. And every Christmas,
You know, I've never seen that.
dude, it's a
Nor
good
have I.
movie. I mean, it's not gonna blow your mind. It's a good movie though.
I just
Yeah.
remember the book growing up as a kid.
That's right.
So do I. I
Yeah.
do remember.
I
That
mean,
very
that's
fondly.
that's how it started, was reading that book the night before Christmas for fun, and then going to bed and waking up. But now with the movie, it's like it's perfect for my ADD brain.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool transition that you guys were able to go from one form of media to another
Exactly.
in terms of tradition.
Yeah.
Culture and
That's really
nostalgia. Anyways, then the next day on Christmas Day, TBS for almost decades now has been doing a 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story.
It's Christmas Story.
So
Yeah, I
pretty
love
much my
that.
mom just kind of has it on every single TV we possibly own in the house. So no matter where we're at, I can just hear random quotes and
hilarious.
just like even if it was like a rougher Christmas or whatever, there was some like problems. Like there was always like this awkward moment where we'd all like stop talking and just watch our favorite scenes as they would
That's
pop
amazing.
up.
I love it.
So
Yeah,
so that was pretty cool. But in terms
love
of my
it.
personal favorite Christmas movie, I had like three
Die
I was
Hard.
trying to choose from. No, it is not Die Hard. I'm not that cool of a person. Man, I was having a hard time thinking through this. This was like, strangely enough, one of the hardest ones because I'm pretty indifferent towards Christmas movies. But
Okay.
I had it, and then I literally just lost it, which is really bad because it is my turn.
It's probably Christmas with
Bambi.
the Cranks.
Oh, okay. No,
Bambi.
you're gonna get angry, and now I remember why. Because it's my
I'm ready
answer,
for
and you're
this.
gonna be like, "No, Adam, you're not allowed to do this." But I'm making it happen. Executive order.
Is Adam Norris about to shock us?
My
It's like
personal
Batman
favorite
or
Christmas
something.
movie is the season 3, episode 8 of Supernatural, A Christmas Special.
I'm actually not going to stop you because I'm doing the same thing with a different show.
I knew it. Because see, listen,
Oh, come
dude,
on, guys.
that episode was so
I
good to
actually
me.
have seen that,
And
it
I
was really
understand
good.
that
Yeah.
like Supernatural is, I mean, it's definitely one of my personal guilty pleasures, but I love that movie or that series unashamedly. And for me, I was actually most impressed with that show and during that season in that particular episode because they balanced what had made it catchy and entertaining with a desire to focus more on narrative and character development and dialogue and better
Right.
writing. It was definitely one of the more strongly written and action-packed episodes. And it was one of the first times you saw kind of the family dynamic from their past play out and how it affected their perspective of Christmas. And it was, for me, I just enjoyed watching it. And it's of any episode I'll randomly throw on. I think
Did
the
you
last
show
few
that
years.
to the children at your club this year?
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Because
that's
I
great.
mean, we have a Netflix policy. It's like if it's TV 14, ask me and we'll figure it out. And they were like, "Can we watch the Christmas special for Supernatural?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna check it." And I watched it. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so we ended up watching
wow,
it and
okay, there you go.
had an interesting discussion about it. I mean, because in a lot of ways they were like, I won't get off on too much of a tangent, but just like their interest in the pagan backgrounds of Christmas and then coming
Right,
to terms with
right.
like
Oh, yeah.
how Christianity kind of took a lot of it and said, let's remarket it as Christian. And they were kind of
Right.
like, they during that episode, they mentioned things like, you know, the fact that trees and evergreens were just pagan fertility rituals. And like, they're like, what? And they were so just confused. And I was like, okay, time out. You know, that's obviously not the case now, but that's where it came from. And it was definitely an interesting discussion topic for like history and previous civilizations and all that fun stuff. So it's
I
educational.
know, it's a really cool learning
Supernatural is educational, sort of. Not really. I really had to work hard to make it work, but it did.
Isn't that like
how you
schools
deflect
calling
demons,
pizza a
kids.
vegetable?
Build a salt circle and you're good to go.
That's pretty much like, yeah. Actually, at one point they were like, Mr. Adam, how do we make a salt circle? And I was like, you don't need one. Stop asking me.
Oh gosh.
It's like you take salt and you put it in a circle, kids. What more do you want?
You seen that sea bear episode from SpongeBob? It's kind of like that, but you use sand.
And they need to remember their anti-sea rhinoceros undergarments, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
JIC, bro. JIC. All right, you got any others?
No, I would definitely say that's my. And if I had to actually give a
Okay.
movie, I always enjoyed Home Alone. But
Yeah, okay.
there's been a growing movement that argues that the original Home Alone is not a Christmas movie,
It's a murder film.
in the sense that it's similar to Die Hard, where it takes place during Christmas, but no part of it is focused on Christmas.
Except the family part.
No, I mean the family went out of town for Christmas,
Yeah, but it's
they
about.
don't celebrate.
But what about the subsidiary plot? Well, there's Christmas presents everywhere. What about
Yeah.
the subsidiary plot with the son, the dad, the crazy guy next door, and then his son comes home? It's about family, and that's what Christmas is about.
That's
It's
right.
about family.
It's about
and being
family,
together.
but it's
Thought it was
not
about Jesus.
well,
Christmas.
it's about Jesus, but it's about family.
But it's not about Christmas.
It's a Christmas
Wait.
movie.
Nah,
Wait, what?
just go back and watch it, and you'll see what I'm saying.
I did. Well, I actually am going.
Oh, you just did? Wow.
No, yeah, right in that.
Imagine
that
what-
second.
Could you imagine what it'd be like to just
he
watch
put the little
movies in
slip
3
of
seconds?
movie on his tongue.
Just
We talked.
done.
Yeah, you put the little dissolving strip.
Oh
on
yeah,
your
that's right.
tongue,
Remember,
and
movies are going to be turned into
Yeah.
into Listerine tablets.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'm feeling some
We're-
horror today.
Here, let me eat this Nightmare on Elm Street, and it just tastes like blood.
What more do you
Every
need?
horror movie just tastes like blood.
Well, that moves me into mine. When my first one is Home Alone, so thank you very much, Adam.
Oh, you're very
I thought you
welcome.
were going to say something about blood.
I
was
love
like,
Home
wait,
Alone.
What?
It's a Christopher Columbus film, and it feels like it. He's the guy who directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies. Which
I thought you meant the Explorer.
Time
of
out. Time. Hold the
Americas.
phone. Rewind the tapes. Flag on the play. The director's name is Christopher Columbus.
How did you not know this? Yes, the director of the first 2 Harry Potter movies. The director of
That is
freaking
incredible.
Home Alone.
Hey, wait, can we say the Harry Potter franchise? Because there is a Christmas scene.
That's
in every movie.
yes, that's one of mine. Is every Harry
All
Potter
8.
movie?
I am
All
audibly
8.
groaning.
Yep.
Good. Let the hate flow through.
I actually just copied I cut the 6-minute Christmas scene from every Home Alone or Harry Potter film and made it a 45-minute special.
Dude,
There's
that would
no-
be so good.
There's
Oh,
no connective
man, someone
plot
needs to
and nothing
do
makes
that.
sense, and
Call
all you
it a
do is
Hogwarts
watch
Christmas.
and
Oh,
all you do is
man.
watch random people age.
Yeah, Christopher
Yeah.
Columbus has directed Home Alone 2, Mrs. Doubtfire, Harry Potter 1 and 2, Gremlins, and The Goonies. And he
Wow, that is
yeah.
a freaking catalog.
he's a really well-known director. Yeah, he's done some good movies. He's also done some not so great movies. Percy Jackson.
Isn't that everybody?
So James Cameron has only done good movies.
Shut up, you're a liar.
Got him.
Titanic sucks.
Got him. He also worked as a screenwriter on Young Sherlock Holmes, and if that right there is a resume, if anything else is.
What? I passed out there for a second about that stupid statement you just made.
Yeah. Anyway, so I love Home Alone. I think the story's fun, and it's a great Christmas movie. In the end, the score is great. I'm pretty sure John
Danny Elfman?
Williams. No, it is. Yeah, it is Danny Elfman who did the score. So yeah, it's got a great score. It's got a fun in Macaulay Culkin. That's the only thing he's done that's probably good, I think. No, John Williams did do the music. So.
Wait, oh man, I screwed up. I forgot one of the most important Christmas movies. That's not a Christmas movie ever.
What is it? Go ahead.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Duh.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's all right.
Except it's a Halloween movie.
It's
according
definitely a
to the-
Halloween movie.
to Tim Burton.
Yep.
But it's
Even
got
though he
Christmas
didn't
in the
direct
title.
that.
It doesn't have Halloween in the
Yeah.
title.
That's true. That's
So therefore it's a Christmas movie. Suck it.
whatever. Anyway, so Home Alone, it's great. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I really like the Santa Claus. I think it's funny. It's clever. Tim Allen is really funny. Before his jokes got kind of bland, which his jokes are kind of now bland. It's just whoop it up. You're a so and so, and I'm like this. Whoop it up. This is. It's
Is
his
that an
jokes-
accurate representation?
Whoop it up. That's what he literally says. That he actually says whoop it up.
Okay.
Adam, are you
Whatever
still
you
with
do.
us?
Of course, I'm always here.
Okay. I hadn't heard from you in a little while. I was
Sometimes
scared.
I just have.
He's-
Sometimes
he's-
I have to just take it all in, and
Okay. Oh yeah.
He has existential moments where he just kind of passes out listening to us talk.
it's actually
Sounds about right.
my brain. All I can hear is all around me are familiar.
Familiar.
Is that a constant for
He
you?
listens to music all the time because he was in a car accident when he was younger, and he has a
Got
nose thing.
a hum in the drum.
Yeah, and then he has to drive.
Can that be
fast.
a Christmas movie just for the sake of it being great?
Yeah,
What,
that
Baby
movie's so good.
Driver?
I love Baby Driver.
Yeah,
Sure,
I bought it on Blu-ray, by the way.
it's
Good.
a Christmas
You
movie
should've.
now.
Yeah.
it's a very good movie.
Okay, Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. It's a classic. It's not really a movie.
How wholesome of you!
I know, right?
I bet you're a
No,
Republican
it's good
too.
though. It's good though. It's good though. Libertarian. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course.
But it's
Classic comeback.
but politics.
That awkward.
This
moment
actually
when
is the
politics
this is
shut
actually is
down.
the one where we switch to a political podcast.
Oh yeah, well I
Congrats.
think dogs should vote. That's my
I'm
political
tired
stance.
of the war on Christmas.
I'm tired of the war on women.
Okay.
Just
so
accept that they're people too.
they are people. We all love women. We do, right?
Sounds really
I'm
wrong.
not
We
laughing.
do.
You're laughing.
So Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown is great. The score is so cool. It's one of the CDs, one of the albums I listen to at Christmas time. Also, Sherlock Holmes episode 1 of season 2. It is called The Scandal in Belgravia. It's kind of centered around Christmas, and it's the one where Irene Adler shows up, and I think it's one of the best episodes of television ever. It's amazing. I love it. It's so
It's a
good.
bold statement, Cotton.
Have you seen? Have either of you guys watched Sherlock?
I've watched all of it. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
have you? Oh yeah, that's
I've only
right.
made it through the first episode.
You're
of the
you're the one who
series.
told me to watch it.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I was, man.
Because we were roommates at the time.
Yeah, like 90%
Yeah.
of
Actually,
the time
one
you're
that got
like,
me to watch the
you're
first
like, hey Adam, what are you
episode,
watching?
so-
I'm like, this. He goes, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And then like 6 months later, dude, I'm like the biggest
That's all he talks
fan.
about.
I'm like, cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt's one of those people that's really late to the party, and then once he gets there, that's all he talks about for the next 7 years. So,
Hey,
you know.
listen. I saw
It all
Avatar
started
right when
with
it came out.
Avatar.
Yeah, except for Avatar. That's the one exception. He'll never shut up about that.
Yeah, and any Harry Potter movie. I
True.
think, and this is what I think a lot of people feel, even with the crappy.
Is it what you think? Are you sure?
This is what I think. Listen, I think it. That's the thing, guys. That's the
Oh
thing.
gosh, not that again.
That's the thing.
It had been
is
so
I
long.
think
It's all a matter of perspective.
it's all a matter of perspective. When you, it really is when you think about it.
Literally
These are all
everything
sayings that
is
you
Shut
should
up.
have.
matter of
Just keep
perspective.
going with your.
When I was really pretentious in college, by the way, everyone.
You're still
listening.
really pretentious.
Hey, no,
just
I'm
a
not.
heads up.
All right, it's gotten a lot
I
better.
will admit you've gotten better.
Thank you. But listen, it's all a matter of perspective. No, it's
Shut up.
it is. I think with a lot of Christmas movies, because some Christmas movies I think are legitimately good. Others are not very good. Some are just fine. I think that it's not so much like the quality of the Christmas movie. I think it's just the season that people really, really enjoy. You know, like you're coming up on a time that people celebrate. You know, time with family and they kind of celebrate religious things too. And so you have this aura of joy and of hope and of kindness and peace and giving and receiving and all this stuff. And so I think what I really appreciate about this, because Home Alone, there are some weird story elements and it doesn't always work, and it's kind of slapstick comedy that was even kind of didn't exactly work when it was made. It reminds me of a time not only Christmas but also being young and enjoying all these things and kind of feeling that joy and just that excitement of waking up on Christmas morning and everything.
So in summation,
You guys kind of get me? You feel me?
I would say in summation, nostalgia and tradition
No?
tend to cover up
Okay.
any
I think I
issues
lost you
with
guys
a
again.
Christmas movie.
Oh, I lost you. Okay.
Oh.
All right, go back
Oh,
and say
no.
what you just said,
Oh,
even
I'll
though
say it
everyone
again.
else will hear it.
I'll say
All right,
it
I didn't
again.
hear it. Go ahead.
I would say
He's saying it to be edgy.
in summation, tradition and nostalgia cover up a lot of the flaws of Christmas
Yeah,
movies.
I absolutely, I think that's 100%. And there are some legitimately good, like I would argue the Santa Claus is a really good movie, like the comedy. Hey, shut up, all right? Hold on. I'm looking up the What is it? What has it got on Rotten Tomatoes? What is this?
Hello,
75%.
Home Improvement?
That's pretty good. That's so yeah. It doesn't always work, but it reminds you of a cool time and just a cool fun time.
You know what movie needs to be remade? That's a Christmas movie. That would be great if it was redone now.
Well, I'm ready.
Freaking Jingle All the Way.
Yes!
I forgot about that one.
Yes.
I forgot about that one.
Slay
seen
Queen.
Jingle All the
That
Way.
is my aesthetic. That is my movie.
I forgot about that movie so much.
That would
Is
be-
that? Oh, that's the one with Schwarzenegger and
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
he
I would
says,
is.
"Oh yeah."
I would totally
Oh,
watch
gosh.
that again. HD baby.
Who would play Schwarzenegger's character? The
Schwarzenegger.
Rock?
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Again?
Why not?
Yeah.
No, dude,
What?
recast him
Yeah.
as The Rock. That'd be great.
No,
Ugh.
that'd
so
be
good.
overdoing it. The Rock is everywhere. He needs to tone it back a bit.
Did you see Jumanji? Because I've heard it's a cinematic triumph.
It's not even out
No,
yet.
it is out. I've heard
it is?
I've heard it's fine. But yeah, like Adam was saying, you have this nostalgia and you have kind of that feeling of Christmas time, and I think that kind of does cover up the flaws of some Christmas movies, and you kind of accept them for what they are and enjoy them for what they are. And I think I
Yeah.
think like
Oh, I'm
movie
ready.
critics who are like, but it's not. You know what? Shut up. People can like what they like, and let them like what
No,
they
they
like.
can't.
And
Sorry, that's not
just
allowed.
if you enjoy Christmas movies, all of our impressionable listeners out there, listen. If
Are
you
you sure
enjoy
about
Christmas movies, just enjoy them. Okay, enjoy them as much as you want, and make traditions and start them because it's fun to have things that you watch around a certain time period. I think.
Yeah, and any movie can be a Christmas movie as long as there is a Christmas scene. So
Hey, that means Silver
guys-
Linings
you do
Playbook
you.
is in my top 5 then.
That's right. Silver Linings
Yes.
Playbook at the end is Christmas time. That's true.
right.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
is.
love Silver Linings
Hey,
Playbook.
that is a good movie too.
That's
a
one of
very
my
good
favorite
movie.
movies.
That's one we can all agree on.
Yes. All
Look at
right.
us.
There we go. It's because we all like it.
Like a happy
Yeah.
family.
There we go. All right. Okay. Well, with
It's
that happy family moment, with these Christmas time joys, we are gonna switch to our next segment. We're gonna switch into. Is that a thing?
We're gonna
Move
Nintendo
into-
Switch power switch on into.
Time to turn my power switch. I mean,
Time to switch
human
to kill
switch.
mode. Kill mode.
We're gonna move into what you watching, mate. Hayes, kick us off. What you been watching, mate?
Why is it always me first?
It's always you
I'm
first
kidding.
because we love you the most
Oh, shucks.
collectively.
He's not wrong.
While you do
I
this,
saw
I'm gonna walk away for a second. I gotta go preheat my oven. So
Are you making pizza at 9:30 at
yes, that is exactly what I'm making.
night? You used to do that in college all the
Yes.
time, so I'm not
I-
really
I will
surprised.
be back in 2
to
seconds.
be honest,
I'm
you
walking
and Norris
away.
were destined for that.
Well, Haste, I want to know what you're watching.
I'm glad
here.
you care enough to hang around.
Yeah.
I saw Star Wars. I've not really been watching a whole heck of a lot of movies lately. It's just been a lull season for some
I'm back.
reason. At least nothing's really grabbed me in terms of movies. I've been watching a lot of Gotham still
Okay.
on Netflix.
That's a show I haven't watched.
It's okay. It's on Fox normally, but it's kind of surprising all the stuff they get away with on there. It's a very violent show.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Like, it's you ask yourself the question, they got away with that on public television, and you're like, man, that's nuts.
That's crazy. Well, it might be with Disney, and they might not be able to get away with a lot of that stuff now. So
Dude, you know Disney owns like Miramax and all those other companies.
that's
too.
true. That's true. They have said they were going to keep Deadpool rated R. So,
Damn
Yeah.
right.
but
They know where the cash cow lies.
that's
They're
true.
not stupid.
That's true. They really aren't. They really aren't. What else have you been watching?
Honestly, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I went back and rewatched Skyfall a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Just because I needed my James Bond fix.
There you go.
And that's my go-to,
Well, we'll
as always.
for sure.
we'll segue into
It's
mine.
probably my favorite Craig.
Thanks to Adam for the lovely birthday present. I finally watched
Oh, yeah.
Casino Royale.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You hadn't seen it till
is
now?
Great.
See,
I
that's
had
what
never
I'm
seen
saying,
it.
Haste. That's why I bought it for him
Yeah.
for his freaking birthday.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that in theaters. That's how old I am.
Yeah, dude. But I got into James. I started liking James Bond movie literally when I watched Skyfall. So,
Wow.
I don't think I'd ever seen one. I'd seen like snippets of GoldenEye or something, and obviously played the video game on Nintendo 64. But yeah. So I watched Casino Royale, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. It was a great introduction, I think, to Craig's Bond, and it made me want to watch Quantum, which I don't have, so I'm gonna have to watch. I'm just gonna rewatch all the
Remember,
Craig Bond ones.
Quantum is probably the weakest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Prepare yourself
Because
for
that was during the writer's strike.
Yeah,
and Craig pretty much had to write the movie himself, which not saying he's
well,
a bad
no,
writer.
he was like offering up story
he was
points
giving
and
input,
yeah, and he's like,
input,
this
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
my
He wasn't
job,
writing it himself.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like so, yeah, I know, I remember seeing bits of it, but knowing that it's not great, I haven't gone back and watched it.
I
So-
feel like Spectre though kind of makes it a little more acceptable. It's still just not a good movie in the grand scheme of
Okay.
things is the problem with it. But
Okay.
yeah,
Fair enough. So I'm gonna go back and watch that. I've been watching Troll Hunter season 2, which if you have not watched Troll Hunters, either of you, get into it. Okay,
still have not.
It's not just a kids show. The animation is fantastic for a TV show. It's a Netflix original created by Guillermo del Toro, which we all know he's a great dude. Really, really good filmmaker. So season 2 is on, and I'm almost done with it. It's great. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and, of course, Last Jedi, which is good. I have to see it again before I decide if it's great, though. So we'll see. We will see. Adam, what you been watching?
Oh boy. So
My
let's
man.
see. Lately it's been not so much movies, definitely more TV.
Okay.
Definitely been more of a Netflix person as of late. Just because I do this every few months, I like to go into a period of existential dread and quandary.
I
I've
thought
been
that was every waking
rewatching.
moment of your life.
Yeah, I've been rewatching Black Mirror.
Oh,
which
gosh.
is, of course,
Oh, the new season comes out next
That's
week.
right.
I know that's pretty much. I've been rewatching it just.
How could we
because I know
forget the
it's
White
coming out.
Christmas episode?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
dude. That
that's-
John Hamm episode. That episode's so good.
That John Hamm episode is very good.
That is probably
Yeah, for
one of
anyone
the
who
best.
has not heard me do a 20-minute rant on why Black Mirror is like one of the most important shows of the last like 15 years, and the fact that it's the new version it's the 2000s version of what
Twilight
the
Zone.
Twilight
Yeah.
Zone has
Except
done.
it's not family friendly.
Well, it's not family friendly at all whatsoever. So yes,
Yeah,
I will
don't
put a
watch.
huge
Gotta set. I
label
have
and
to
say
set that precedent.
Yeah.
parental advisory. I would say even if you're like high school and up, that's still it would be rough.
I would say if you're
But it's
under
definitely-
17, probably don't watch it.
Yeah.
I'd almost
Definitely
slap
don't.
the NC-17 rating on it just for safety's sake.
And it's not really like
in a lot of ways-
there are some. It's not really that. Never mind. I won't get into it. Just don't watch it if you're
Yeah.
underage. I'd say. Yeah.
Yes, in a lot of ways, the show is not afraid at all to disturb you in ways that isn't necessarily gross. More of the mentally
It's psychologically,
uncomfortable,
yeah.
hard to look at,
Yeah.
hard to think about,
Yeah.
kind. Which in my case is like my favorite kind of shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
so even me, like, I made it 2 episodes in and I was like, I'm gonna need about a solid week of not thinking about this show.
Yeah.
And I could maybe come back to it, and then I would, and I'm like, okay, I made it another episode in. I'm gonna get, and so it took me like, it's only right now, it's only 6-7 episodes, and I would say it took me emotionally 2 months just to watch the whole thing, because so much of it was just, it was a very,
It's
definitely
exhausting.
weighs you down.
Right. It is.
Yes, it's a good show,
It's
but
not
it
a-
definitely
It's not a bingey show. You can't binge
No.
it at all.
not at all.
You will
No.
you will hate yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was good. I mean, for rewatching it, I've been appreciating it. I've been kind of poking more holes at the writing at times, and in a lot of ways, it tends to, if anyone understands the metaphor I'm about to say, it tends to red pill drop like a lot.
Yeah.
And I started.
Yep.
At first, it seemed interesting, and now the more I watch it, I go, I get it. Like I really get it. Like this is a bad thing, and you should be worried about this.
Yeah.
And in some ways, towards the end of the series, so far, it's been like, all right. I mean, I really get it now. And so my only concern for this new season is, will they continue to just kind of play this heavy-handed, red pill dropping
What are
sense
phones but
of
too
grandiose,
much? The whole technology,
like melodrama, and I don't want them to lose the potency of what their message is, because it is important. It's important and it is potent, but I'm worried it will be watered down by people going, it just feels like it's preaching at me, and I don't want to hear that for an hour at a time.
And
So
that's
yeah,
something that I do. I think that Black Mirror is fantastic, and the episodes are awesome. And
yes,
but some people, I've read some articles where people are like, I just don't buy into it, because the moment you turn on an episode or the moment you start watching, it's like, okay, what's the twist? Okay, what's gonna happen? You know,
yeah,
like
it's definitely a victim of it's a victim of its own good writing. You start to kind of want to compile it into a nice little convenient box of understanding, which was kind of its last thing it wanted
here's
to
the
accomplish.
thing, though, with that,
So
I still get surprised, like not all the time, but a lot of times, even though I know there's probably a twist or something's going to happen. I think that Black Mirror still does a really good job of revealing itself, effectively and like efficiently in a way that's very entertaining. So
I guess in a way, I'm more referencing the overarching theme of each narrative, because no episode is completely connected it's only connected by its themes,
right.
and its purpose of what technology will have an effect, and that is good. But sometimes
it is a little preachy.
It overplays it to a certain extent, and so I'm only worried that it might continue to do
Right.
and maybe even more to its detriment in the new season.
And this new season is what, 4 episodes, if I remember correctly?
It's 6.
Oh, it's 6. Oh, okay.
They doubled up. They usually did 3. They did 3, the Christmas special. Now they're doing 6.
Yeah,
because they've had a longer break, which it's going to be interesting. I mean, so far there's one episode that is entirely in black and white, and it is about a woman and a dog. I have no idea what on earth.
Interesting at all.
Yeah,
really
I'm more interested I mean, I don't really know what to think of this new season. I've kind of kept myself spoiler free. I mean, I watched the teaser
one trailer,
which was
the trailer
with
gave you all the title episodes and episode
that
titles
was pretty,
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going off of. So I have my ideas, but we'll see. Kayla and I have been, because I've watched this series as it came out, but I kind of stopped the last couple, and then Kayla and I kind of finished it together. Mad Men.
Okay.
Speaking of John Hamm, definitely at this point I would say definitely top 5 of television series of all time for me.
No, I've heard great things about it, but
I would say if you guys have not given it a shot, I would say it is, in terms of period pieces, a show that is based around a certain, I think the show takes place from 1963 to 1973. I think it's a full decade of the story takes place. It is, if not one of the most accurate and beautifully presented period pieces of all time, because and the best part about it is, yes, it is a work of fiction, and yes, no part of it actually happened aside from their nods towards historical events happening, JFK, moon landing, all those things as they happened, the sex revolution, big tobacco starting to go down. They do it in a way that they create a whole world that pays homage and is like constantly and consistently a part of a world that we could never experience. I say this about our generation,
right?
And it gives us a perspective into what life was like in a way that it is not over the top,
right? It's actually kind of accurate.
It's very accurate, not just the costuming or the cars or the clothes. I mean, just the personalities, the mental, the way, the schema, the way the characters kind of think through things and talk about things like race, racism, human rights, suffrage, women's rights. It's not this, like, in a lot of ways people tend to downplay it or they go over the top. This show, it's achingly human.
Okay.
And it's very good. It's very good to just watch it unfold. The pacing is solid. I would say the only weakness of it is it tends to kind of get a little bit too plot driven, and you'll find yourself going, I'm ready for something new.
Okay.
And you'll have these little darker, deeper moments where you're like, I'm ready for the season to be over because I know it's going to get better.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think most shows 7 seasons long tend to have those moments, like any good show. But yes, that has definitely been a good show. And then the final thing and I haven't finished it yet. I'm actually on the series or season finale. Is Mindhunter, which has been
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
once again. I will slap a massive parental advisory. It makes
Super
me
disturbing,
squirm.
I've heard.
It's Netflix.
Yeah, it's Netflix, but
My
man,
roommate's been watching
it
it. He
makes
really
me.
enjoys it.
I consider myself a pretty dark person, and that show makes me squirm.
Yeah.
And if for those who have not heard of it, Mindhunter is about kind of the mid 70s or so, right after the Manson killings had happened. The FBI and the Justice Department in general had never really considered and even realized that the era of serial killing and these people, they didn't even have a vernacular for it.
Right.
They
It's
didn't
like
even
the
have the word
beginning of it,
serial
and they're
killer.
trying to work into like the
It's-
minds of like why do these people do what they do, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct. So it's pretty much just it's a buddy cop kind of show in a lot
But it's
of
not
ways,
comedic
where it's these
at all. Like
no,
buddy
there's
cop.
it certainly has it has its comedic
Yeah.
relief, but no, it is definitely steeped in much more of a darker tone. David Fincher directed,
Yep.
produced it. So fans of House of
Alien,
Cards,
Alien 3,
Fight
the best
Club.
Alien. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Alien 3. I mean, nah, not really. But that's been an interesting show, more so watching. Once again, it's a fictional retelling of historical events.
Right.
So watch with a grain of salt. Don't treat it as if it's you're watching the FBI create its serial killer database. It's nothing like that. But it's certainly interesting to watch a person who is surprisingly relatable, the main character, and watching him kind of realize that a lot of the lines that we draw between someone as terrible as a serial killer and a perfectly normal person are actually pretty thin, and it doesn't take much to make people do the things that they do.
Okay.
As much as he meets a lot of resistance from the outside, from the government. They don't want to admit that. They want to criminalize, and they want to put, a direct quote from the show is, "We are not paid to commiserate with them. We are paid to electrocute them."
Right.
And,
right.
So it's kind of watching this. I mean, even the FBI, and this is not inaccurate to say this, even the FBI then during the 70s, the idea of psychological understanding and research, they thought was just like something that you just kind of did to get the books and to seem important. But there was no real focus or weight placed on understanding a person's psyche. And so this was kind of watching that unfold and them go, oh, this actually is like a revolutionary concept. And it will, the behavioral science unit is like probably the most important like sector of the FBI now. But in the 70s, it was two guys sitting in a basement.
Right.
And back then it was like, oh, hey, this person killed 10 people. Let's just shoot them and call it good.
Right. Yeah.
And that's pretty much, and that's what most of the show is, them kind of meeting resistance, ironically, not from the serial killers, of course, because when they talk to them, that there's one quote where they're talking about their first person they interview. He's like, man, that guy cannot shut up. Like it's unbelievable how much he wants to tell us about these murders. He's saying things like, it's hard as a vocation. He's like, what? He's like, butchering people. It's hard. It's physically, mentally. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, this man is just so calm and collected. When in reality, if you go back and look at those interviews that they're referencing, it's accurate. And it's what these people were like. And then you go, this is someone that you could have just, been in line next to get tickets for a movie. And yet he killed 13 people. So it's definitely an interesting, eye-opening experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sounds interesting.
I've been meaning to get into it, but I know you got to kind of settle in for it and be like, this is going to be kind of,
Yes. It definitely, the first episode, it gets your attention, but not in the way that makes you go, oh, I got to know what happens next. And then right as they finish kind of setting it up by episode 2, I would say it's definitely the hook point. And it's only 10 episodes for the whole season, and season 2 has already been greenlit.
Right.
It's considered, I think right now, to be one of the most fastly growing, successful Netflix series to date.
Right.
I think during their premiere week, it only averaged a couple 100,000 viewers for the week, and then by the end of the month, they averaged 2.8 million.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
So I think in a lot of ways, it at least the trend lends itself to what I think is happening, which most people give the first episode a shot. They go, okay, it was cool. And then by 2, they're like, oh, this is incredible. I gotta keep watching. And then they just binge the other 9 episodes in one go.
Right.
Well,
Cool.
Well, something interesting just popped up on my my Facebook news.
Are you
feed.
the Office revival? Yes, NBC is doing an Office
No.
revival.
They're
Yes!
gonna ruin it.
Yes,
They're not gonna
ruin it. They're
ruin
gonna
it.
make it great. It's gonna be amazing.
The ending
It
of
has
The
to
Office
be.
was so
It was good.
perfect.
Apparently, okay.
It
So
was
it says
so
this is
perfect.
just comingsoon.net, which is a well-known news site. Office revival in
Mine's
the
off of
works at
Variety.
NBC. Yeah, there's one from there. Following the success of Will and Grace's return, the revival of The Office is now also in the works at NBC. Office revival will begin again set at Dunder Mifflin's Scranton branch. Expected to feature a mix of old and new characters. Apparently, Steve Carell is not going to be back, which is fine. He was written
knows
off in a
it's gonna
good
be
way.
stupid.
It's not going to be stupid. It could be stupid, but let's just hope for the best, okay? Yep.
No, they're gonna ruin a masterpiece.
Whatever. All right. Well,
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I want to get into Mindhunters. I'll do that eventually, and we're all really excited for Black Mirror. Maybe we can do an episode on that sometime. That'd be cool. But guys, you got anything else? What you reading? What you watching? Anything else you wanna say for the Christmas season to our loyal listener? See what I did there?
Other than Merry
I didn't
Christmas,
make it
not
plural.
really.
That was pretty funny, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, your fiance is the only one that listens to
Hey,
this.
she actually doesn't listen to this. She does.
She's a smart woman. Then
Every time I say, I'm like, did you listen? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, I talked about you. Then she'll listen to the one segment where I talked about her, and that's all she'll listen to. Yeah.
Well, she's a smart woman.
yeah.
She knows not to listen to stupidity.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey,
Hey, listen. All right, guys. This
I
has
love
been
what we do.
this has been episode 18 of MovieFellas podcast. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to shoot us an email, you can email us at moviefellaspod@gmail.com.
Wait. Hold the phone one more second.
What's up?
this just in. Beep boop, beep boop.
There's a G.I. Joe and Dungeons and Dragons movie release dates.
I'm
Wait.
done. Episode over. Roll credits. Why was this news? Never mind. Have a wonderful
I didn't
night.
know the Dungeons and Dragons was still coming out.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Oh, gosh.
That and G.I. Joe.
All right,
are
we'll
both
talk
still
about the
coming
new
out.
great, fantastic Dungeons and Dragons movie when it eventually comes out.
Not till 2021.
Oh, well.
All right.
G.I.
Hey,
Joe's 2020.
that's one thing that Avatar has on it. Avatar will be out before 2021.
Are we sure? James Cameron will be dead before the next
He's
one
like
comes out.
63. He's not that old. So, you know.
People die young, Matt. It happens.
Okay.
We'll see about that.
All right. You can reach us at moviefellaspod@gmail.com. You can shoot us a tweet,
Wow.
whatever.
Way to use the English language the wrong way.
I'm the goodest Englisher. MovieFella at
The
MovieFellas
wellest.
Pod, and you can find us on Facebook and YouTube and iTunes at MovieFellas. Well, actually, iTunes is MovieFellas podcast, but the other stuff is MovieFellas. Hit us up, guys, if you want to hear anything on the show. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will see you next week, guys. Next month.
There you go.
We'll
There you
see you
go.
next month, guys. Peace
See
out.
you guys next year.
Yeah, next year, technically.
Good one,
See you
dude.
boys and see you beautiful baby
Totally
boys in
tubular.
2018.
I saw what you did there. That was good. Bye, guys.
All right. Everybody love you.